What up? You got Mr. Smith, point five of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and in this brief video, I want to introduce you to something that may be new to you that you haven't heard of, or maybe you have, but it's the ability to bank with a black bank, because many people are looking for black-owned banks for various reasons nonetheless, due to different things and discriminations that have taken place in the banking area, and it just gives people, blacks, an opportunity to get fair access to certain things, even though behind the scenes you may not realize that it's some things that don't necessarily best serve the black community. And I'll just leave it like that. But I will say this: anything that's good for blacks is good for all of humanity. That's just how nature works, baby. So it's not as though no other ethnicity can bank with a black bank. In fact, you might prefer to bank with a black bank due to the fact that if it's good for the black individuals, and I hate to really use that word black because we're native of all lands, but you know, since that's what everybody chooses to use, that's what I'll use. But if you bank with a black bank and it's good for blacks and natives of all sorts, then it's definitely going to be good for all of humanity. So the bank is known as a Greenwood Bank. Now, the link right here that's up here, don't worry about typing all of that in. Go ahead and do that. And down below, I have a link available nearby so you can get access to it and just click in and get access to it. And this will basically show that you were referred to this bank by me. And it's a waiting list currently as they, unroll different things. But it's over 200,000 people who have already registered for accounts. So it's a big deal, probably over close to 500,000 now at the time of this recording. But nonetheless, click the link available below. And what that'll do is allow me to get early access just because I referred you to the bank. And then you'll be able to do the same thing, because immediately upon setting up your account, you'll also get a referral just in case you have some friends or family that you think would be interested in banking black. Now, it's named Greenwood, and Greenwood is just a district that exists in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it's named after that historic district. That's not what this video is about. I'm not going to go into the history of it, but if you know, you know. If you don't, it might be worth you looking into. And it's a modern banking for the culture. Now, a lot of people may have seen this because Killer Mike is one of the founding members of this bank, and he's very political as it relates to understanding certain things and the need, and he's solution based. So it's a lot of things that he does that are moving the culture as a whole forward, but at the same time, he comes from the culture. So even though he's very well spoken and articulates himself in a great manner, he still is connected to the people who may not have been exposed to the level of education and people that have impacted him and made him who he is today. That said, he's one of the founding members, amongst others, who are pushing this and really raising awareness to this bank, because it's going to be a big deal. And it's an all-mobile bank. It doesn't currently have any physical locations. Now, for many of you, that may sound a little alarming, but when you think about it, it's a lot of people who are only using mobile banks. Whether you realize it or not, a lot of people are only using things such as Cash App or just digital forms of money. And that's the future of where everything is going. When you think of teenagers, a lot of them don't even go to physical banks. They just know how to transfer money because that's the digital currency, and that's what's currently taking place, and that's what's going to be taking place futuristically. And it gives you a lot more freedom. At first, I was one of the last ones to use Cash App, but then I found myself favoring it because of the ease of being able to transfer funds within a second. It's like sending a text message and boom, money is here. You can maneuver without having to go to the ATM, get charged all different types of ATM fees just to pull out money. You know, I'm kind of beyond that. So that being said, this bank will allow those things. So I'm just doing a brief overview of what you'll get access to, but nonetheless, it's free to set up your account or go ahead and register. So click that link nearby so you can do that. But if you want to know what it all entails, modern banking for the culture, a mobile banking experience made for black and Latino customers. So I said black, but it's made for black and Latino because sometimes the black and Latino community get, treated differently. We'll say that. Y'all know what it is. I don't even have to break it down, but you know what it is. But for one and for everyone, when you bank with Greenwood, you save money and help the community and get paid early, recirculating wealth. That's the Greenwood way. So join us. And when you join us, you're paying it forward. How? You feed a family. You feed 5 meals to a family through Gooder when you create an account. So this account being created is automatically paying it forward. You also have the ability to donate to nonprofits. You can give to the UNCF or the NAACP through Spare Change Roundup. That's, an optional thing. Small business grants. They're going to be gifting $10,000 every month to a Black or Latino business. That's pretty big. Hidden fees, never. So a lot of times these banks be having these different hidden fees, do the different things. Not over here. Very simply, we don't charge you hidden fees to give us your money. And we don't have overdraft fees. You made it, you keep it, you prosper. Woo, I got to say that again. I just like how that felt. You made it, you keep it, you prosper. So no overdraft fees. Just know what's in there operates like a prepaid banking. No overdraft fees. If it's not there, it just don't charge you, period. Full service banking in your hands. Saving and spending account, Apple and Android Pay, peer-to-peer transfer, mobile deposits, community reinvestments, global ATM network, no hidden fees, 2-day early pay, all of the above in this Greenwood Bank. Next gen security, no worries banking. Your money is safe. All deposits will be held in an FDIC insured bank. Peace of mind. That's everything. There's no worries. Banking. Join the movement now. So all you got to do is sign up and you'll get access to the waiting list, and then that'll allow you to become a part of the new Greenwood. So that being said, click the link below and then you can put in your email address and get access to this mobile bank that's going to sweep the nation and take over by storm, because there's a lot of people who are, not interested in being done the way that banks have done over the years, and really just not necessarily valuing the customer, to say the least. So Bank Greenwood, go ahead and click the available link below, get put on the waiting list, and once you're able to get in, then you'll also be able to share your own link with others, and that'll move you up closer to the top of the list. I look forward to partnering with you, working with you. Hopefully this helps you, benefits you, and just moving the culture forward, because it's long overdue. That's all I got for now. Mr. Smith, signing out. What up? You got Mr. Smith, 0.5 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and on this brief video, I wanted to talk about HUD, especially if you're renting and one day plan to own, are starting to now favor or see the appreciation for you getting credit to pay your rent. And if you're paying rent and you one day plan to own, then I highly encourage you to watch this video. But more importantly, click the available link below, or you can just visit payrentgetcredit.com. That's payrentgetcredit.com. The link should be below, saying the same thing, but basically what that does is allow you to get credit when you're paying rent. According to HUD's website, it states that the new report explores problem of credit invisibility among HUD-assisted households. What does that mean? See, a lot of people who rent and they're not getting credit for their rent, they have credit invisibility, meaning that they don't have anything that's hidden their report in many cases. Not all cases, but many cases, because if you're paying rent, sometimes you might not have a credit card, or you might not have a car loan, because you might be just doing things out of cash, or just paying for things in full, or using prepaid cards instead of credit cards, things of that nature. So it positions you to have credit invisibility. If you're credit, or if you're invisible to the credit bureaus when it's time to qualify for a home, the chances of that are slim to none, because now you got to go through a credit building process. And HUD recognizes that. So it's important that at least if you're paying your rent, you should be getting some form of credit from it. It'll help you in your payment history and things of that nature. I'm not going to get into all of the 5 factors, but if you're paying rent and you're not getting credit for it from an angle of it boosting your credit, then it's a disconnect. So in order to stop the disconnect, you click the link below so you can connect your good payments of paying your rent to your credit score. And I'll read a little bit of it, not all, but just a little bit of it. Basically, it says Washington landlords and property management groups regularly use credit checks to make determinations about renting to potential tenants, and many employers incorporate credit checks in hiring decisions. A low credit score or credit invisibility can thusly limit housing choice and employment opportunity for low-income families. a new first of its kind study from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is HUD, and the Policy of Economic Research Council finds that if the rent payments of HUD-assisted families are reported to credit reporting agencies, many of these households would cease being credit invisible. And I'll just leave it at that. So you got to understand that not only are homes or people trying to qualify you to buy a home pulling your credit, jobs are too. So sometimes it might not be that you weren't qualified for the job. It's your credit score was bad. They didn't tell you that. They let somebody else get it, but your credit score sucked, so they didn't let you get the promotion because they want to know your credibility. That's what credit boils down to. They want to know, do you keep your commitments? If you said that you were going to pay someone or something back, do you? And if they can't prove that based on your credit, then they might not approve you to move to that next level or approve you to get qualified for what it is you want to get qualified for. So do not take your credit lightly. There's some things shifting and changing. So credit is going to be a pretty big piece to your overall puzzle as it relates to you moving forward in life on your wealth journey, the whole 9 yards. So take full advantage of your credit. And if you are paying rent, do yourself a favor, click that link below so you can go ahead and start getting credit every time you pay rent. Short and sweet, that's all I got. Mr. Smith, 0.5 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, signing out.